So the fine folks at Creality have given me yet another machine. I'm very excited. This one is the Creality Falcon A1 Pro. So it is the higher version of their entry level. So let's get it unboxed and see what we've got to play with. Another self-contained machine, nice and compact. Should be great for smaller spaces or offices. So I'm going to unpack it, get it set up, and we'll see what it can do. So now that I've got the Falcon A1 Pro unpacked and all set up ready to go, let me talk you through a couple of the features that they've added to this new machine. So again, it's similar to the A1 as in it's nice and compact, perfect for small spaces, but it does have a couple more advanced features. A couple of things that are new to it is one, it does have a screen now, which obviously will help out when setting parameters and being able to see progress and things like that. It still has the top and front that opens, which is great for easy access. There's a new air pump system that is much easier to connect to the units, the laser units. And one of the really interesting things, and this is something to keep in mind if you are thinking about purchasing the A1 Pro, is it comes with a 20-watt diode laser, but there is also an optional 2-watt infrared laser. I found this really, really interesting. So I'm used to working with sort of the straight up diode lasers, and most of the work that I do is with one of these. However, they provided me with the 2-watt infrared laser, and I'm finding it really, really good for doing finer engraving and on different materials. It works better on things like plastics and leathers and even metals in order to engrave in. One of the interesting things is instead of it being black when it engraves, it just takes off the material. So this way you don't end up with a black imprint, but actually engraving directly into the material, particularly on metals, which I find really interesting. So these now just pop into a housing at the back. They're also will adjust automatically. So the focal point adjusts automatically. It's just a setting you put on there. Once it's connected, you just hit the button and it will adjust itself to the appropriate level. That is a really nice feature instead of having to muck about with making sure that it's at the right height, depending on the thickness of your material. It's got high definition camera as the one did before, the A1 does. And this is great because you can position things in the machine really easily. You can also see the material below so that you can position directly onto the material. It also allows you to replicate graphics onto multiple items of the same size, which is also very, very handy. So yeah, generally, I'm pretty impressed with this. It's a nice step up from the A1. The A1 is a great machine for entry level. It's brilliant. This is definitely that next level up. It gives you a little more flexibility. I really like the fact that you have the option of the 2-watt infrared laser. I think that is a bit of a game changer for me, particularly when I want to do much finer etching on materials. So now that I've given it a bit of a rundown, let's do a few projects and give it a workout. can see the difference that the two different lasers make. So this one I did a while ago on another machine and just using a diode laser. And you can see that it has marked the stainless steel, but it hasn't really engraved into it. This is permanent. I've washed it numerous times and it's still intact. This is using the infrared laser, and you can actually feel the texture. So this engraved directly into the metal. This little faded bit, that was my fault. I put it in the wrong spot on the blade. It curves here and gets a little thicker. I should have placed it a little further over where the section is flatter. But there you go. I'm really impressed with the way that looks, and I'm sure that it'll weather really well. So the last thing you saw me make there was a pencil case. It allowed me to again play with the idea of making wood flexible by using certain patterns in the cut, and has a lovely curve to the bottom of it, as you can see there. Very cool, very interesting, something that I'm still experimenting with, but I think it's a really neat feature of these machines. So there you go. I think that was a pretty successful first run of working with this machine. The A1 Pro, I think, is definitely a machine to be considering, particularly if you're looking for something that's compact, works really well in an office. Obviously, having the exhaust fan makes a huge difference because you're able to vent it either outside or into a air purifier, which is available also from Creality. You see all the fun stuff that I got to make with it this week. I think as I go along, I'm really going to utilize this machine, particularly for the fine engraving, because it works extremely well for that sort of stuff. So once again, thank you so much to Creality for providing me with a machine. This one is definitely going to find its way into my regular rotation because I really like what it's able to do, particularly that infrared laser. I think is a really interesting proposition. It gives me a lot more flexibility when I'm doing engraving work. So I think that's it for this week. Hit like and subscribe if you like this video, and let's see what I can create with this as we go forward.